Yeah. So what is your take? And I'm gonna throw a curveball in this one because we're kind of going down a good road here. What is your take like for junior leaders? Like, let's just say, been in position for been in an organization for anywhere between 7, 8 years. If we're talking Army, senior captain, maybe major. Well, senior captain, let's leave it there. Commander ish.
Mhm.
If we're talking corporate America, a not a probably a department head, whatever the case may be. So, what would be the friction point for where they understand? Let me give this person some grace, but now this person is at the point to where I have no other choice but to do this. Like, what would, in your opinion, what would be that friction point?
I think just like the Army, I'm pretty sure every other company organization have rules, regulation policies
Of course,
that are strict and clear, right? And then some are vague, right? When it's strict to the point that this is exactly, sexual harassment,
of
sexual
course,
assault,
yes, yes,
DUI, drugs, there's no wiggle room into that.
yeah, yeah,
Unfortunately, there's not no wiggle room, right? And that's my personal belief,
yeah,
because you know better. You know better, and you're talking about an individual being in any type of corporation or organization within 7, 8 years.
yeah,
You know better. There's a difference between, I'm going to give you an example, a lieutenant of mine taking his platoon and the whole cannons to the hardball and destroying half of the hardball because he thought it was better than going to the tank trail. Then it is that lieutenant that got caught shooting downtown Austin his gun in the air.
Oh wow,
So you see,
yeah, yeah,
So of course, did I show some love to that guy that took his whole battery or his platoon to the hardball, and we have to explain DPW why half of the road is messed up now? But I took him, and he, it was all kind of situation that led to that point, right?
of course, yeah,
His platoon sergeant was not there. His gunnery sergeant was not there.
yeah,
So he thought, I'm the platoon leader. Let's do this. We need to get to the objective. The fastest way is this way, right?
yeah,
And of course, after I gave him some love and mentoring, I explained to him, what his action was gonna happen. However, the other lieutenant that happened to just take a gun in the middle of Austin and start shooting in the air because he's celebrating God knows what.
yeah,
There's no, I think with my look, he understood that there's nothing I can tell you. I don't get me wrong. I mean, of course, after they get caught, right?
of course,
Everybody feel bad. I'm sorry, and they can write a 20-page essay about why they did wrong
yeah,
and how they got there. But other than that,
absolutely,
you knew better.
yeah,
You knew better, man. So that is the friction point to there is clear stuff,
hmm,
clear in some cases as clear as they can be.
yeah,
That's why company organizations have these, either quarterly or semi-annual or annual training
that's right,
and sign this so you understand, right, all the policies and regulations they have. So when the time comes, you know better.
absolutely,
You know better, right?
absolutely,
And those other areas that cannot be covered after
yeah,
somebody driving down the hardball with a whole platoon of 109s, right? It's not covered, right?
yeah,
And then
absolutely,
maybe it is, on the regulation on poles, you cannot be driving, a certain amount of vehicles on these roads.
yeah,
But honest mistakes, right? Honest mistakes can be used as a mentoring time, right?
yeah,
And will come to some level of, I guess, either reprimand or punishment or whatever the case may be.
yeah, yeah,
But there'll be nothing compared to when he did something or that person did something knowing for a fact that it was wrong.
See, that's good. That is really good. And I listened to what you just said, and there were a couple of things to consider. Number one, is there a policy that says that we have zero tolerance for this thing? That's when you start talking sexual harassment, assault, all these other great things, right? So that is clear and cut. No leader whatsoever has any leeway when it comes down to those things.
Exactly.
Then you have those things to where you put other people's lives in jeopardy. A leader
Exactly.
should not have leeway for those things.
Exactly.
Then you have those honest mistakes, so where everybody make mistakes, and
Absolutely.
sometimes we're knuckleheads, and it may be a little painful. You may have to give us a little extra time and
Right.
a little extra training and things of that nature, but it's not a career either. And I think just that piece of a conversation there is value for any junior leader, because I can just imagine I remember when I was a young buck sergeant, just trying to wrap my mind around my left and right limits and just say, you know what, motivation covers everything. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I was, man. I was like, I don't know, man. Let's just go and just see what happens.
Yeah, and I tell you what, this is my point too about accountability, right? And when you say earlier about zero tolerance, right? You cannot run an organization on zero tolerance mentality.
Yeah.
Because it will stop people from growing. It will stop people from being creative.
Yeah.
It will stop people from actually trying to find out ways to do better ways, whatever that case may be, right?
Yeah.
So having a zero tolerance, I got zero tolerance across the line. It's impossible to live like that, because you are looking for a perfect organization and a way of this is impossible.
Yeah.
So using a zero tolerance approach when it comes down to certain things, yes, right? The DUI, the drugs, and everything else. But having that approach to everything, it just don't give it the opportunity for people to grow.
Right.
And I'm a firm believer. I was told a long time ago, right? Sometimes you have to listen to the junior guys.
Yeah.
You have, because they may see something that you're not seeing. And don't just discard because they don't have experience, because they're young. But I tell you, I learned so much from the young guys, right?
Absolutely.
Because their perspective is different, their lenses are different. So you have to let them, right, figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
And if something happening in between, right, they understand. Hey, I'm letting you grow. I let you, and sometimes you need some scar tissue, right, to be better. To be better. So I just want to point that out, because a lot of people just believe that zero tolerance is the only way to go, and that's impossible. It's impossible to run an organization, civilian or military, like that.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, obviously.
That's great, and I agree with you 100%. I tell you what, in an organization, if I existed in an organization that had zero tolerance across the board, I would be afraid. I would be afraid to take a step.
Absolutely.
I would ask for permission to do everything. So now you're going to get zero innovation. You're going to get zero creativity, and you're going to get zero initiative.
Exactly.
So now what you're going to have is a bunch of robots that move at your beck and call, and that's not what anybody wants.
Exactly.
You want to grow and develop leaders at all levels. So great point, and I'm glad you must have heard me thinking, because the second part of my fast forward motivation is I had a platoon song behind me say, "Hey, yeah, keep going, son. If you don't kill nobody, we can fix it." I'm like, what? So, man, this is amazing, man. And you know what? I'm just hoping that some young leader will actually listen to this, hearing it from a very accomplished senior leader in the United States Army, and who've been at all levels of leadership and command. Just actually listen to these wise words, and I hope they take these things into accountability themselves. So this is good. So now we talk accountability for leadership. 31 successful years. You've been stationed in Honduras. Who does that?
I'm telling you, I don't even know how I got there.
How did accountability contribute to your success?
I think going back what I said earlier, right? I think when I became E6, right? As E5, I was doing all kind of interesting stuff. I say that, right? I was not dedicated nor 100% into the game, because I didn't think I was going to stay that in the Army. But once I make E6, I started understanding that I had to change my mentality, right? I had to change my approach, and I had to find the ways to be better and make people better, right? Because I understand the concept in organization, especially in the Army, that you by yourself and you can grow. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people are successful by themselves, and they can able to work through their areas and impact their own personal goals. But I found out that I needed to get into the mindset that not only I have to be good, but I have to do people good too. I have to make people better. I have to be able to inspire people to be better. Because when it comes, I'm that person. I'm the type of person that I had this competitive edge on me, and winning to me.
I know that for example.
winning for me is important. Winning to me is important, and the mentality that you put when you actually put organization, when you're able to build within organization a winning competitive mentality. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna have some people that you have to control, right? Because sometimes if you let them go, they will go through walls for you, right? But again, going back to accountability, right? And the reason for my success was because I did not do this by myself. Right? I did not do that myself. Every chance I made it up, right? From being a young E6 in the gun line, and motivating my platoon, my section at that time to be the top gun and be the best.
Yeah.
Because there is, again, winning matters, and we want to be the best,
That's
right? And that was it. And it was not because me, it's because of us, right?
That's right.
And we made it. Then I become platoon sergeant. Same concept. Of day one that I sat down with my platoon, I said, we're gonna be the best, man.
Yeah.
As simple as that. And I think that sometimes we don't say that enough, right? Because we don't actually put goals and expectations for our subordinates. And so they don't, some people can come to work 9 to 5 and accomplish absolutely nothing.
Right.
Yeah. But if you give them some goals, you give them some, this is what the expectations are. We are going to be the best in every fashion, and we are going to be pushing. And of course, it comes with the bragging rights of being the best. I love to talk, man. B, you know
I
me,
do.
right?
That's okay.
Exactly. So I think that, and so that, I'm gonna lie to you, that approach, I held it all the way to the day I retired.
Yeah.
Because, as a platoon sergeant, I was talking to 20 people, right? About being the best, and we're gonna kick X person's, platoon butt. Then I became first sergeant. Now, listen, we're gonna be the best organization with this battalion, man. Everybody knows us.
Yeah.
And then when the facts, the products, right? You see this and you push it. I'm not gonna lie to you. The greatest thing that I remember being my best time in the Army being a first sergeant. I tell you that right now. That's when I had the most fun, right?
Yeah.
But the great thing is when people want to be part of your organization, right? They're part of the battalion, but they want to be part of your battery,
Exactly.
right? And I used to tell people, be careful, right? Because working for me, my expectations are higher. Over there, you're okay, right? You're living by the balance of being normal, right?
Yeah.
You come on this side of the fence, and I expect a lot from you.
Yeah.
And then again, when competition come forward, and I remember, PT challenges, Top Gun, Top FDC, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And we just wiping the table for everything. It came about. And then I became a battalion sergeant major, right? Same mentality, same approach, right? I guess my platform got bigger,
Of course.
but it was the same approach. Because I knew at the end, if I was able to cultivate that mentality in organization, I don't have to worry about my report card.
That's right. Yeah.
You see, I never did work for my report card. I just knew that if I build an organization that is motivated, they are willing, and they know they are able to do honest mistakes, and they'll be able to mentor and move on and have the winning mentality. Listen, man, at the end, when you stand in front of a brigade, right, and you have a brigade of 5,000 plus people, and in a BCT that most likely has shown a lot of love for the infantry and the tankers, right?
Yeah.
And you are leading the way and everything. It's not because Edgar Fuentes or Colonel McCormick at that time. It's because all the 600 people behind us understood the vision. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think my success, man, I like you. My success because those people were able to understand the way. They was able to challenge my energy, right, and make it their own. Because I always tell people, don't do it because I said so. Don't do it because I want to. I used to tell people, my first son, I used to bring him to a different mentality, right? When the battalion commander or myself put something out, if you turn around and you tell your unit, well, we want this done because Sergeant Major wanted it done, you just took away your power.
That's right.
Right? So it's a we format. I learned taking leadership courses and reading a lot of books about leadership is that I no longer said I need this. I said we need to do this. I changed drastically. I made it a point that I never said I need this. We need to do this, we need to do this, and we need to do that. I'm telling you, that itself, that little word right there carries so much power. Yeah. Because now you own it, right? Yeah. Now you own it. And I get hyped because I remember those days. It's the energy. Yeah. And again, I look back and I'm humble because those first times still call me. At least 4 of them are sergeant majors now. And of course, their own little ways they're doing business. Of course. But they also go back to those days. Of course. They go to those days and they see. So my success, I'm telling you, my success is more about the people that it was standing along my formation with me than it is me. I'm just a regular kid from Brooklyn that just had a little energy than maybe the average person. However, my success, that itself can not lead me to nothing, right? I just had to be able to inspire and motivate people to
Right.
do better, man. So that's
Yeah.
where my success comes from.
So can I share with you what I just heard?
Yes,
I
sir.
literally heard you articulate to me that this kid from Brooklyn who grew up that was very competitive in sports, so forth and so on, you channeled that energy. And when it comes down to accountability for leaders, when you became a leader, you became accountable to the people that you led. That's what I just heard you say.
Absolutely,
And
100%.
you served them. And when I listen, like literally as listening to you talk, I started to get excited. Like I said, I'm serious, man.
Right.
I was like, we the best.
Let's do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that's what leaders do. Like leaders bring the best out of people. Like we should erase the idea in our mind about being average. Like we should not strive to be average. Existing in place should not be a thing. Like you should strive to be the best version of yourself every day. If you're going to get out of bed, if you're going to go to work, if you're going to do a job that you volunteer to do, then do your best.
Absolutely.
And let the chips fall where they may.
And they will.
At least, but at least you can say you did your best. And so when I listen to you say that, I say, man, you know what? This is literally textbook leadership that he's talking about right now. And I listen to you, like literally what you said is that you mastered the esprit de corps. That's literally what you said. You said, I learned how to take the winning spirit and instill it in everybody in my organization. And I did it at every echelon that I was at. Man,
Absolutely.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and interesting enough, right? As you know, my last assignment before retirement, official assignment that is, I became the garrison sergeant major in Honduras.
Yeah.
0 soldiers. I had no soldiers.
I just want everybody to hear this. Honduras. Yeah. I got to say this again.
Yeah, Honduras. Yeah. You can get there. You can get there as an artilleryman. So leading a team of 27 civilians, right? Because no longer, as you know, you cannot have the same talk as civilian, right, as you do with soldiers. And in fact, the fact that some civilians, at 5 o'clock, they're leaving regardless of what's going on, right? So it's a different approach. However, I can tell you this, right? As soon as I got there, I showed them that I'm willing to learn. Because, one thing about being an artilleryman for so long and suddenly you are the garrison sergeant major, right? As an artilleryman, it's like, right, you're always going to be comfortable, right? It doesn't matter. If you became a platoon sergeant or first sergeant or whatever, you understand the lingo, right? That's the lingo. Suddenly, this man right here is standing in the garrison. Even the acronyms is not. I can understand what they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I showed them. Listen, I want to learn. I want to learn because I want to make a difference.
Right.
And that's my whole point. I want to make a difference because I can easily and sit here for a year and a half and ride this wave and make zero impact. Or I could try to learn, get knee deep in the waters when it came down as a garrison sergeant major, DPW, MWR, APHIS, housing, everything in between, security and budgeting, everything else. Because I wanted to feel that I was bringing something to the table, that I'm not just a placemat, right? Yeah. And I think that, sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone to do that. And accept that you don't know everything. And I said, clear, I know absolutely nothing here. I'm going to learn from you guys. And I think at that point in time, they had never seen that approach from the sergeant major. They only saw a sergeant major as the monster that the colonel let go once in a while to just make some noise and bring it right back, right? They never saw a sergeant major involved in budgeting. They never saw a sergeant major working in housing. So I think that I proved to them, right? Yeah. And again, I'm going back to I proved to them that I wanted to win. I wanted to be good. And I always told them, how can I help you? Tell me how my position can help you.
There you go.
And they were like, wow, hold on. So this is what we need from you.
Yeah.
And next you know, I'm making phone calls or whatever. But I proved to them that it's the concept of we is all about what we can do for each other. Yeah. And next you know, man, we making some crazy changes. I remember a story here that they had taken some budget away from me from some barracks in Honduras. Mm-hmm. And the place that soldiers live in Honduras was built in 1980s, right? And we had some structured good barracks. However, we outgrown. It's been some years. And they take away that money from me. So as soon that I have a delegation coming to visit me, right, I told the colonel, I need some time because, as you know, you got these senators and and congressmen and, you know, even people from the embassy come and visit you. I said, I'm going to show you why I need that money.
Yeah.
So I showed it to them and they were like, wow. So, you know, of course, that came around from, you just can imagine me telling a senator that's involved in a committee of budgeting in terms of everything that has approved in the Army. You know how that brings back, right? You understand, right?
Of
that
course,
brings back all the way down.
Phone's got the ring.
Oh, somebody gonna call me. And I'm like, I say, I'm just talking to the soldier, because I know the soldier don't have that. They don't have the ability to talk to that senator. Right. And I told you, I said, I did everything I could to bring this up. And I knew this opportunity I have. Don't call it breaking protocol.
Right.
It's I want the best for this organization, for this installation. And I did what I was supposed to do. Yeah. Simple as that, you know. And like the saying goes, I'm not making E10, so I'll be okay with E9. So promotion not gonna factor. But going back to what I was saying, it just having that same approach, regardless if I were leading soldiers or leading civilians. And as today, when I train, you know, civilians and boxing and everything else, it's the same approach, man. My only purpose in life is to get the best out of you, because I know that you have potential and you have to go out there and go out there and get it. So absolutely, it's 100% of that, man.
I love it, man. I love it. This is awesome. And I'm telling you, I hope that, again, I have to say it again, I hope that our listeners, rewind it, go back and listen to how listen to how he said what he just said. It became personal for him. It literally became a part of his identity. And I think once you understand that, that's the thing that creates the legacies, to where the phones keep ringing long after retirement and so forth.
Yes, indeed.